I'm trying to make this video as organic as possible, as if I'm actually talking to you. I don't want any fancy editing, no scripting, just be my authentic self and share authentic stories. I'll be posting every Sunday and just want to share my experience, some behind the scenes content, and I hope you can enjoy watching this video and gain some actual insight of what goes through the different processes, the different races I do, and some parts of my life which I think all of us can benefit from. So I decided to do the pull-up challenge 17 days before I was supposed to attempt it, and the reason I got this idea was I was literally just scrolling in bed and I see this reel of some girl doing 1 hour max pull-ups or something. Nothing remotely close to 24 hours, nothing close to David Goggins pull-ups record, just as the average fitness influencer. And immediately, I didn't even watch the video all the way through. I don't even have it saved, and usually I would save something like that. I just decided I got a click in my head. I went out to my dad. I was like, I'm attempting this in 1 week, and just let's start the preparation. Let's like start building content. Let's start documenting it all from today and from tomorrow. And the first thing he tells me is like, how did you get this idea? Why 1 week? Why are you not doing it on your birthday? Because my birthday comes on 23rd July, and that's like pretty close to when I wanted to attempt it, which was June end. Because I got this idea in the middle of June. So I tell him that I don't want to do it on my birthday. The reason being, I want my birthday to feel normal. I think for last year I was just celebrating it obviously while doing my Ironman 70.3, and the year before that I didn't do any real party. I didn't enjoy with my friends, and I was feeling very left out. And even though doing the Ironman 70.3 on my birthday was very special, it meant a lot to me. I think on my 17th birthday, I just want to enjoy with my friends and have the best time of my life. Of course, I want to break a record, so this is the record I've chosen to break. Okay, so for 17 days straight, I've decided this record, right? So for 17 days, 16 out of the 17 days, I wake up every single morning. I'm like, today's the day, today's the day. I need to train, I need to figure this out, I need to figure out my grips, I need to figure out how we'll live stream the event, I need to figure out what my record category is. And this is going on for 16 days in a row, right? Ever since I decided I'll attempt this record. But I wake up on the 17th day, on 4th of July, and nothing is in my head. No dreams about the pull up challenge, no thoughts before sleeping, no thoughts while waking up, as if it's a normal gym session. And I don't know if that's a good thing because I wasn't feeling jittery or anxious, which I do on competition days. A lot of times, I think the people who know me will know this, that every single day when it's my competition, I'll have a rough night sleeping, I'll be very jittery until the competition is over. But when I got to the gym, when I got to Grindex, everything felt normal. Everything felt absolutely amazing. It felt like it's a part of my routine, and it just showed like how much I genuinely wanted to do this, how there was no pressure on me, how I decided that I really want to do this myself, and I'm not proving it myself to anybody. I'm just literally doing it for myself and for my happiness and to achieve personal success. Another interesting thing I want to share is, of course, most of you will know that my original record was doing the most amount of pull-ups in 24 hours by an Indian teenager. So there was no weighted weights, there was no weight attached to it, and my goal was to do 3,000 pull-ups. And everything is confirmed. My application is being processed to the India Book of Records. They've accepted it. I've talked to some of the instructors there. They tell me how I need to film my video. I was like, okay, I comply with all of these regulations. And 1 or 2 days before I'm supposed to attempt it, I think on July 1st, I get a call from the India Book of Records. And they're telling me that some guy who's 19 and a half years old has just broken 4,000 plus pull ups in 17 hours, and he's a new record holder. And he attempted this record on June 12th. So basically, less than a month ago from when I was supposed to attempt my record. And for some reason, I thought that this might be the case. Like, there will be someone who's going to break the record. I had some intuition, and luckily, I could tell them right there and there I'll do weighted pull-ups. I already had this idea in my mind. I told my dad about it, that in case this doesn't go through, I will do weighted pull-ups, 5 kg weight. I'd already decided that. And as soon as the person calls me up and says that you have to either break 4,000 plus pull-ups or your record won't be accepted, and I was pretty devastated. I had to tell them that I was under 18 and there should be categories for under 18, since anything above 18, like 18, 19, while they do have the teen word in them, I highly don't think that they should be part of the Indian teenagers category. But all respect to my brother, bro. I found his page on Instagram and he's like really inspiring. He makes good content as well, and he's reposted my stories. He's celebrated my wins as well. So huge shout out to him, man. Like, that's pretty amazing, and I'm glad that we can share like similar but different records together. But overall, a pretty interesting experience. I think that luckily my intuition was able to tell me that have a plan B, and luckily I was able to proceed with that instead. Okay, so now let's get to the day of the pull-up challenge. So I reached Grandex, we set up the live stream, everything's working fine. Some of my friends have come to cheer me on, and I started doing the pull-ups. It feels easy, it feels good, And for the first 3 hours, the first 4 hours, everything is going pretty smoothly. And until up to my fourth hour, I get this shock kind of pain in my forearm, as if like my bones are cracking. Like you know how somebody like cracks their wrist or cracks their neck or something like that. I get that same kind of sensation every single time I'm going down for my pull-up bar. Like I do my pull-up, I like extend my elbows, and while there was no pain to it, I knew that if I ignore the early signs, there might be a case of doing an injury later on. I watched a lot of YouTube videos of people who have attempted this challenge. I think there's a content creator called Brownie. He's like pretty famous now, and he's attempted this with his best friend, and his best friend got a left bicep tear. And I was pretty nervous about that because I knew I could push through the pain, I could push through the soreness, but I can't push through an injury. So I get that taped up pretty quickly. I'm nervous because even though it's not paining, I don't think having your forearms, having that shock kind of feeling just within 300, 400 reps is a good sign. I got that taped up. Huge shout out to my physio, like Suraj sir. He helped me a lot. I think without him and without his guidance, it wouldn't be possible. But more on that later. Then after that, I think around 7 p.m., 8 p.m., different classes started happening in Grand X Studio. So a lot of new people came in. A lot of people cheered me on. They were doing their own workout. That gave me a sense of motivation. Everybody was pushing through pain, and I think that was a really good sense of community, a really good sense of unity. And overall, I think hours 7 to 8, even up till hour 10, I think it was a pretty good feeling. And some of my friends came later as well to support me. I think at 10 p.m. It became night, so it was dark outside. There were not a lot of people. Only my crew, only some of my friends was there. And after that, I knew this is the main like toughest challenge. So and from 10 p.m. to around 2 p.m. I think my some people came to support me, but after 2 p.m. even they started to leave. 10 p.m. to 2 p.m. was a roller coaster. I remember I hit 1900 pull-ups at 1 a.m. That was the goal. I was looking at ChatGPT through my pacing that by which hour I should reach which hour. And while I was ahead of pace for 2500, I thought I'll go for 3000 as well. Yes, I was aiming for 3000 later on. And I was keeping that goal in mind. I knew I would be able to reach it if I go out for a little like longer because I finished the record attempt at 18.5 hours. If I'd gone for around 20-21 hours, I know definitely I'll be able to hit 3000 pull-ups. I'll tell you why I didn't do 3000 later. So by 1 a.m. I had reached 1300. Of course, then it started getting challenging. I was using a lot of infrared light therapy. I was getting my bicep release. Of course, I had a lot of pain in my left bicep. I think that was the biggest injury concern for me. Like not my forearm. The forearm got fine later on, but my left bicep was aching a lot, and I thought like it'll tear any moment. But luckily, it didn't. Touch wood, and I'm grateful that it didn't. But yeah, that was also a big concern. I was also very sleep deprived. I'm not the kind of person who would stay up all night. I'm the kind of person who would sleep at 11 and wake up early. So for me to stay up the entire night, it was one of my biggest challenges. I had around 3 Red Bulls and like a pack of Neurogum mints throughout the event. And I think while that could keep me up, I was in the state where I am awake, like I can't sleep, but I'm also like exhausted beyond anything I've ever experienced in my life. A lot of people may have this question like why I didn't sleep for some time. Well, the case is if you sleep in an event like this, for you to get up, it's very difficult. The best way I can put it is like imagine if you're in the gym and you're just hitting like biceps, right? And even if you're doing like very heavy sets and all, it all feels like in the moment, like you have adrenaline pumping, you have a crew around you, your body is warmed up. So for you to keep going and stuff like that's still like doable. But if you take a break for like 1 hour, you come back the next day, you sleep and come back. Of course, your biceps will be very sore, much more than you were at the final set of your biceps workout. So just imagine that way. Like and I got to know this, like I tested this out myself. Like I was taking 15-minute breaks in between. So even after 15 minutes, I got back to the bar and I literally failed my weighted pull-up rep. Like I couldn't get my chin across the bar. Like that was a no rep. And I was really concerned. I was like, okay, my body shut down even in just 15-20 minutes. Like thank God I didn't like go for an hour, but like what do I do now? So then I started warming up again. Like I use the red light. If you don't know, it's like gives a lot of heat to your cells and your muscles. So that helped me like heat up, get the momentum again. The first few reps again, like after taking a break, were very tough. But I was able to push through that, and after that, it got like slightly easier, I would say. Then everything is going according to plan. I think I was at 2200 pull-ups and I thought I was just there. But then I also realized it's 300 more pull-ups at least 2 hours. Like that's double what my normal workout would be. So I still have like 2 workouts left, and I thought I was almost there because 2300 and 2500 don't seem very far apart. They're just like 200, 300 reps apart. But I knew that I still have a long way to go. But then I was still having like the 3000 aim in my sight. But then my dad like advised me against it. He was like, do 2500 first, see how you feel. And by the time I reached 2400, I realized that I probably do like 2501 and like tap out. That was the plan, and I kept going. I think it was around 5:30 a.m. when my dad was like, "Do one every minute." If you don't know, my original pacing was three every minute. He was like, "Do one every minute and stretch it out a bit longer, and you'll get to your goal for sure." But I told him that I'd rather do three and finish it off in 1 hour than do one every minute and then finish it off in 3 hours, because for me to keep going in that mental state for 3 more hours it would be very exhausting. So I was supposed to finish at like 7:30 a.m. I finished at 6:30 because I was obviously ahead of pacing, and I did like 3 reps in the final hour as well, and that brought me to my finish line. 2501 weighted pull-ups in 18 and a half hours. I finished at 6:25 a.m. No sleep. I'm 16 years old. I'm turning 17 in just a few days now, so that's pretty exciting. But overall, those are my one of the crazy experiences I've had in my entire life. I think there were a lot of people who know who were there behind the scenes, that how tough the journey really was. I definitely underestimated it. I think compared to my Ironman 70.3, this was like much harder, because with the Ironman 70.3, it's like 9 hours, while this pull-up challenge is like 19 and a half hours. Plus with the Ironman, it's all in daylight. There are people actually doing it with you. Like I'd had people like cycling with me. I had people running with me with the pull-ups. I had people, but like maybe for an hour or two out of the 18 hours. So it was very mentally difficult. Also to stay up, the long event duration. Also with my Ironman 70.3, I knew what the risks are. I knew where I could cramp up. I knew I could get fatigued. I knew what points I had to push through, because I'd already done like half marathons. I'd done like cycling challenges. But with the pull up challenge, I'd never done anything like this. Nothing could compare. Yes, it was pretty difficult. One of my most, like, I think compared to my Ironman, much more difficult. Like, it's not even close, man. It's not even close. I still have marks on my shoulder. It's still there. And they look cool though, I think. But yeah, man, that was the journey. Thank you to everyone who was there, who came, who supported me on the live stream. I think a special shout out to my dad. I think he was there throughout. He didn't sleep as well, and it was must be pretty boring for him to see the entire event like for 24 hours, not sleep, because he's not even doing the workout. He's obviously very tired. Even there must be like much less adrenaline. So huge shout out to my dad. A couple of my special friends were there as well. I think Adya was there, so she was keeping me company throughout the night, and like she was like helping me eat. A huge shout out to her as well. Huge shout out to my mom as well, of course. But she was there, not in person, but she was there in live. She was calling me consistently. She was watching it even like on YouTube, so that must be even more exhausting for her. So her friends were also watching, and yeah, man, thank you everyone who came, who supported me. And this is the first Storytime video. Let me know how you want me to progress this content. Drop a comment, subscribe, and see you all next week, man. Thank you so much. Peace.